Hey everyone, it's Taylorverse, and welcome back to I Hate Myselfie by Shane Dawson. We're starting chapter 3. Sure, I think it's 3. 2 First Kisses. When I tell people my first relationship was when I was 21, they assume I grew up Amish. They also assume that I'm insanely repressed, closeted homosexual. Considering I'm only 26, there's still plenty of time for me to explore my gay side. I can even picture myself at age 50 getting my balls stepped on by a guy wearing a leather mask and screaming expletives in my face. The saddest part is that not only did I experience my first relationship at 21, it was also the age when I had my first kiss. I swear I'm not Amish. The gay thing is questionable. Tee. And now he's all going on Maui riot. Get the Larry the Oh, that's funny. Well, not really funny, but ironic in a way that even when he wrote this book, he's questioning his sexuality and did it publicly in a joking manner so that nobody really thought it was true unless they could read through the lines. Oh, love his little heart. I'm really glad he's with Rylan now. They're so cute. One night I was hanging out at a friend's house and she had a new roommate who was from Canada. I have an unhealthy obsession with Canada. I watch all their shows, I know all their catchphrases, and I try to incorporate a boot into my speech as often as possible. I did not know that about him. I don't know what got me hooked on the Maple people. Maybe it was the imaginary relationship I had with Avril Lavigne when I was 13. Or maybe it was the moment Jimmy got shot on Degrassi, which made me emphasize with the whole country. Either way, ooh, fuck. I had maple syrup running through my veins, and not just because I used to drink Aunt Jemima out of the bottle. When I met this new roommate, I wanted to know everything about her. That's a lie. I wanted to know everything about her homeland and why they drink milk out of bags. We talked for hours, and she educated me on everything I ever wanted to know about Canada. Oh, Canada. I learned why they like ketchup chips and why they are so polite. She was like a real-life Wikipedia, and all I had to do was type in a question and she would pop out the answer. We hung out for the next week or so, and I don't think either of us was thinking it would be anything more than a friendship based on the mutual love of her homeland. The third time we hung out, I went over to her place to pick her up, and she was crying in the parking lot with a suitcase. This was the beginning of the end of our friendship. What's wrong? I got kicked out of my apartment. What? Why? We got in a fight about something stupid and she kicked me out. Where are you gonna go? I don't know. I'll have to find a place. Well, you can stay with me until you find one. And that, my friends, was the dumbest idea I had ever had. Hey, girl that I just started hanging out with, wanna move in? I didn't realize how insane it sounded because to me I just saw a friend in need. But at the age of 21, having a girl move into your small apartment isn't something sane people do. She reluctant. Excuse me, do you see me fucking reading here? Twitter? Gah. She reluctantly said yes, because she really didn't have another option. That night we were lying in bed watching TV. I repeat, lying in bed watching TV. Hi, kitty. Another not-so-bright idea when you're 21 and friends with a girl. Anyways, we were lying in bed watching TV and we started to cuddle. Now, this was the first time I had ever cuddled with a girl, if you don't count my mom. My mom and I used to cuddle on the couch and watch shows about women getting brutally murdered, but that's another story. As we cuddled, we both eyed each other with an "are we doing this" look. I'm not sure either of us was actually super interested in dating the other, but we were both lonely and sad, so it just kinda happened. We decided not to kiss or do anything, but mainly because we were both nervous, but also because we were halfway through the episode of Hoarders, and we didn't want to miss the part where the guy found all the woman's dead cats. The next morning, we woke up and went to breakfast. It was the first time I've ever been to breakfast with a girl, so I didn't know how to act. I assume everyone in the restaurant thought we had just had sex that night, and we were there to replenish, but that wasn't the case. I didn't want people to think that I had done that, especially since at the time I was pretty religious and the thought of having sex before marriage made my guilty Christian penis crawl back up inside my guilty Christian body. We didn't really talk much during breakfast. I think we both realized that after all the Canada talk, we didn't really have that much in common. So, what do you like to do? I like to travel around the world. You? I like to lie in bed and watch Netflix while squirting low-fat Ready Whip into my mouth. Yeah, it wasn't a match made in heaven. But the next day was a big one. I was shooting my first short film for my YouTube channel. Oh. Yes, bitch. It was set at Christmas and was about a guy, my character, getting his first kiss. I swear I hadn't written it for personal reasons. The girl I cast was Lisa Schwartz. I had met Lisa a year before when we were working on a video together for another YouTube channel. She was sweet, pretty, and a little older than me. I say a little older because even though it was only by a couple years, given my lack of sexual experience, I might as well have been 12. Although I think 12-year-olds get more handjobs than I did. Lisa got to the house where we were filming, and I started talking to her about the scene. I played it super cool. Are you nervous to make out? Not really. Me neither. Nervous laugh that ends with a small amount of pee. It was off to a great start. So we made our way to the front yard where we were going to kiss. I started to panic. Not only was this going to be my first kiss, but it was going to be my first kiss on camera. What if I bit her, or puked, or swallowed her tongue? Hey, it could happen. The director yelled action, and the time had come. She looked up at me, and I looked down at her, and she went in for the kiss. All I remember is thinking about how much her lips felt like bologna with mayonnaise smeared on it, and that was a good thing. Cut! That wasn't so bad. Thanks. How did it feel? What? Like, did it feel good? You wear a lot of chapstick? Score! This was going great. We did a few more takes and then it was over. Afterwards, I went back to home with my Canadian roommate was sitting on my bed for me with a remote in one hand and a can of low-fat Ready Whip in the other. She was ready to please me. As I sat on the bed, I looked at her and initiated the most uncomfortable conversation imaginable. We should kiss. Okay. Cool, let's do it. Great. We looked at each other in silence for about 30 seconds. So, when are you gonna do it? I have to do it? You're the guy, but Lisa did it today. Wait, how many girls have you kissed? Are we counting relatives? Did you have your first kiss today? Maybe. Wow, that's so sweet. And a little sad, but mostly sweet. Want to be my second? Sure, thank God I'm not your first. That's too much pressure. What do you mean? You never forget your first kiss. You always think about what your life would have been if you had stayed with them. It's a lot of pressure. It's like a first crush. You never get over it. It was at that moment I started overthinking everything I had experienced today. Was Lisa the one? Should I have whisked her off her feet and made her my wife? Should I run to her house and kiss her in the rain? Then I remembered that she was an actress who had no interest in dating a 21-year-old virgin, and I was sitting in a bed with a willing Canadian with a season's worth of Hoarders in her hand. So I went in for the kiss, and I stopped right before I hit her lips. What? I don't know what to do. Kiss me. I know that. I just mean, like, how? Put your lips up against mine. Not that hard. I reached into my pocket and applied lots of chapstick. Rub that off. Huh? No girl wants the guy to have glossier lips than her. It's creepy. Thanks a lot, 17 magazine. I made my way back to her lips and stopped again. Wait, can I start somewhere else? We are definitely not there yet, dude. No, not that. I want to start far away and then make my way to your lips. So I started kissing her hand and slowly made my way up her arm, and I got to her shoulder and then went up her neck. As I made my way to her face, she was trembling. This was the most romantic thing you could ever dream of, except I had no idea it was romantic. I was just trying to calm my nerves and delay the inevitable. I finally got to her lips, and we had a pretty long kiss. As I pulled away, she looked at me as if I was some player who knew exactly what I was doing. In reality, I knew about as much as as that can of low-fat Reddi-wip in her hand. I was just lucky, I guess. We ended up dating for the next year. It wasn't the best relationship, but it was what we both needed at the time. We were both lonely and wanted someone to talk to. It was more of a friendship with some kissing thrown in. Kind of like the relationship I'd had with my grandma, but more culturally acceptable. Our breakup broke the record for the most mutual parting of ways in history. Here's the text message conversation. Hey, should we break up? Yeah, probably. Okay. Did you watch Hoarders last night? Yeah, I can't believe that woman ate her dead dog thinking it was jerky. I know, crazy. Well, bye, I guess. Do we have to unfollow each other on Twitter? I'd rather still follow you. You have funny treats. No way, I never unfollow anyone. That's so tacky. Agreed. And that was it. I still follow her on Twitter to this day, and every once in a while we fave each other's tweets. I usually only fave them if it's something about Canada. The day after we broke up, I got an email from Lisa asking if I wanted to hang out. It was super random and felt like a scene in a terrible romantic comedy starring Katherine Heigl and Ron Hamm. Except Lisa's not a notorious cunt, and I have a slightly below average sized penis. We ended up going to dinner and having a really great talk about relationships and life in general. She had just gotten out of a long one, and I had just gotten out of an immature one. We talked for hours, but this time I wasn't just interested in her homeland, I was interested in her. I wanted to know all about her childhood, her family, her way of thinking about the world. It was like there was this gift in front of me, and all I wanted to do was unwrap it and see what was inside. If it was as beautiful as the outside, there was no way I was going to regift it. We stayed up till 4 a.m. It was one of the most magical nights I had ever had. It was even more magical than the night I watched Titanic 3 times in a row while cuddling with my mom. Well, I should probably go. You gotta get to bed. Yeah, thanks for tonight. I needed this. Me too. Night. I started to walk out the door, and then I stopped myself. I wasn't going to be the pussy I had been a year ago. I was a man, and I knew what I wanted. I turned around, I grabbed her arm, and I kissed her passionately. Sparks flew, and hearts exploded. As we pulled away, she looked at me and smiled. You aren't wearing as much chapstick. I only put on 1 coat today. Thanks. And to this day, we are still kissing each other with the same amount of passion. Not anymore. It's been more than 3 years, and I still feel like there's more to unwrap. Every day I get a glimpse of what's inside. I hope it never ends. Awkward. I'm, I'm really glad he has stronger feelings than that with Ryland. Otherwise, we'd have a real bad situation here. Hello? Shit. Why is shit locked? Ugh, shit hasn't loaded. Oh no. Ha! I fixed it. You have one dick pic on the AIM. Oh. It's got a Harry Potter scar and... Okay. Bing! New AOL Instant Messenger message. I ran over to my old Dell laptop and pried it open. It was 2002 and Dell was the shit. So no judgment. I still love Dell. I opened up my AIM and there it was, a picture of a flaccid 9th grade boy's penis with the text, "So baby, you like," under it. I slammed my Dell shut and locked my bedroom door. What had I done? Flashback to 1 week earlier. I had just started high school and very quickly realized that I wasn't the cool kid. I wasn't even the nerdy kid. I was the invisible kid. I can't tell you the amount of times a group of students would literally crash right through me in the hallway, like they were an 18-wheeler truck, and I was a bag of Old McDonald's someone threw out the window. You would think that being morbidly obese would make me easier to see, but somehow it acted as a cloak of invisibility. My blubber must have had some kind of magical power. If there had been a sad version of the X-Men, I would have been Magneto, and all those special ed kids with superior upper body strength would have been my students. Me being undetectable to the human eye made it particularly difficult when our teacher would divide us into groups for class assignments. Usually I wasn't even picked last. I was literally forgotten. I had a teacher ask me once if I was there to check on the air conditioner. So during the first week of school, we had a project in social studies class. Our teacher wanted us to pick groups and form our own societies. After my teacher asked if I was the janitor, and I told her I was 14, she had me join a group of surfer kids who had a collective IQ of 10 and a collective STD score of everything. I tried to make conversation with one of them. "So, you watch American Idol? Aren't you the cafeteria lady?" It was going great. I sank into my chair and prayed that there would be a natural disaster that would kill everyone in my school except for me. That didn't happen, so I just stared at the clock until it was time to leave. That night I went home and decided to do a little research on my group mates to see how I could get along with them. Maybe we had similar interests? Maybe they were closet homosexuals with a fat fetish? It was worth looking into. I logged on to MySpace and began to hunt. My only friends at the time were Tom and Polly Shore, so I was pretty sure we didn't have any mutual friends. I went to each of their pages and stalked the shit out of it. During my investigation, I began to realize something about the surfer kids that I had secretly suspected all along. They were horrible. Every picture they posted was of them shirtless, and every comment they shared was a version of, "You're so fucking hot, fuck me." Clearly, we had nothing in common. The only person who had ever wanted to fuck me was a homeless lady who used to stand outside of Ralph's and tell me I had a sad face that she wanted to sit on. I kept looking at their pages and started not only questioning how people could be so vapid, but also questioning whether God exists. It was a really dark few hours. The next day I went back to class and sat in my group again, waiting for some kind of fatal natural disaster. I tried to strike up another conversation, and this time it lasted longer than 10 seconds. Unfortunately, it wasn't a friendly chat about the weather. It was a tear-inducing indictment against childhood obesity. Typical 14-year-old banter. So, what did you guys do last night? Got high with my uncle and tried to get his dog drunk. What about you? Oh, fun! What about you? Fuck some chick I met on AIM. You guys have sex? They all looked at me with dumb in their eyes and emptiness in their heads. Oh, cool. Sometimes I think about sex. Then I get scared and pray about it. I went to the gym. Almost fucked a girl there, but she was a dyke or something. You go to the gym? Are you allowed at the gym? Isn't that for grown-ups and handicapped people? Anybody can go to the gym. Maybe you should. The other two surfer kids let out a collective, "Oh!" I'm fat, I get it. You're like obese though. I saw an episode of Dr. Phil where he talked about how all the kids now are getting obese and they're gonna die before graduation or some shit. Damn, dog, those statistics are scary. Let's go back to not talking. That was less traumatizing. Then my mom said that fat people get fat because they're lazy and hate themselves. Also that they secretly want to die, so they're trying to kill themselves slowly with food. Shit, that's crazy. Fat people are sad. Is it bad that sometimes I don't even consider fat people to be people? Like, I think of them as animals or robots or something. Know what I mean? I'm right here. Do you want to die? At this moment, yes. More than anything in the world. I don't want to sound like an asshole, bro, but you should stop being so fat. It's sad, and you're gonna make our school look bad, because Dr. Phil said that the fattest school in America is in California, and they're making them all do extra homework and stuff to make up for it. That literally makes no sense. Neither does your lifestyle. The surfer group stared at me with hate in their eyes. I broke down and started crying like a little bitch, but can you blame me? They had basically just told me to kill myself and that I was a robot or something. I told the teacher I had an emergency and had to go to the bathroom. She didn't question me. That's one plus about being the fat kid in school. Nobody questions the necessity of a trip to the bathroom. They just assume your ass is in a constant state of explosion. I ran to the bathroom and locked myself in the stall. I cried for a good 10 minutes, and then took a shit. There's nothing more depressing than crying while you are smelling your own shit. It's almost as depressing as eating sandwich rolls at a funeral reception. Whoever thought a funeral reception was a good idea needs to be shot. I sat on that toilet for a good 30 minutes trying to wrap my brain under what had just happened. How could those guys be such assholes? How could I have let myself show so much weakness and not stand up to them? Hi, Kitty. Why is Dr. Phil talking about other people being fat? So many questions. Next, I did what any teenager does when faced with adversity. I planned my revenge. That night, I logged back onto MySpace. How could I use their interests against them? What did they like to do? Well, from our chats from that day, I discovered that they loved drugs, animal abuse, and hooking up with girls from AIM. Then it hit me like an 18-wheeler through a school hallway. I could pretend to be a girl on AIM and ruin their lives. I didn't have an AOL Instant Messenger account because the only people I talked to on a daily basis were my mom and my cat, so this technology was useless to me. So, to get the plan rolling, I had to sign up for AIM under a fake name with a fake picture. I decided to go with Carol. I know, Carol kind of sounds like the name of an old drunk. But I always thought there was something kind of sexy about it. Maybe because that homeless lady outside of Ralph's was named Carol. Anyways, my next step was to find a picture, so I went to Google Images and typed in a high school girl whore slut. I love how he searches things. Surprisingly, this led to pages and pages of options. I decided to go with a simple girl with extremely large nipples, classy and tasteful. I created her profile and started filling in all the blanks. Favorite movie? Fucking. Favorite book? How to Do Fucking. Favorite song? Sing While You Fuck Me. Favorite animal? I fucked a dog once. Favorite quote? I fucked a dog once. Carol. I was ready. The perfect girl for these idiots. So I decided to start with Surfer Kid 1, since he was the guy who started the obesity debate. I went to his profile and saw his screen name was typed in his bio, which read like an obituary for his brain. About Server Kid 1. Hey, sup, I like hookah, hardcore rap, and getting head. Also like reading blogs about 9/11 conspiracies. Something ain't right, y'all. Buildings don't just fall down like that. Hit me up on AIM. I like nipple rings. So I sent my first AIM message to I like nipple rings. Carol is wet. Hey. 2 minutes later, shit started going down. Sup, who dis? Carol, I'm wet. What? I said I'm wet. Like, sweating? For a guy who seemed to be all about vagina, he sure had no fucking idea how one worked. You like boobs? Yeah. Want to see my boobs? Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Let me just make sure my mom's not home. Yikes, if Carol were real, that would have really dried her up. Okay, she's not here. My little sister is, but she's in the other room watching TV. Sounds hot. Yeah, I guess. So, you want to see my boobs? Yeah, have you ever had sex before? Yeah, like, every day pretty much. One time I did it in a Wendy's bathroom. Hot. Did you eat a Frosty afterwards? I wanted to, but I couldn't afford that and my bus ride. I like a man who's responsible with money. Yeah, I keep it all in a jar with my name on it. It's pretty pimp. How about you show me something first? Huh? Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is disturbing. Trust me, I know. But I was a fat kid scorned. And I was ready to go there with no regrets. Hello, little kitty. What are you doing? My plan was to get the most unflattering picture of this kid's dick and print out hundreds of them and post them around the school the next day. It was a genius plan, except for the fact that I would get expelled for doing that and possibly go to prison for child porn. But I didn't think that far ahead. I want to see your thing. My thing? Your penis. Why? Because I like penises. They're cool and they make Carol wet. Can't you just, like, Google a picture of one? But I want to see yours. I bet it's super tan. I'm not great at sexy talk, but hey, neither was he, so we were evenly matched. So, like, if I take a pic of it and I send it to you, will you show me your boobs and my vagina? Yup, all 8 inches of it. I'd never seen a vagina before, so I'd assumed length was a part of it. I was incorrect. Okay, make me hard first. No, I like soft penises. Really, that's kind of gross. Do you want to see me naked or not? Gotta go, BRB. For those of you who aren't kids of the 2000s, that meant gotta go, and that he'd be right back. I took that to mean that he was freaked, and he was freaked the fuck out and was throwing his computer out the window. I felt defeated. I guess my plan wasn't perfect. Maybe I was too forceful. Maybe I wasn't as seductive as I could have been. I was just about to head to the kitchen, then it happened. Bing! I went to my computer and cracked it back open when I saw a new picture message from I like nipple rings, and oh dear God, it was horrifying. So, baby, you like? Baby didn't like, baby loved. It was a picture of his horrifyingly small, shriveled up penis placed on top of his lopsided, weirdly shaped balls. If this picture was seen by anyone, they would think it was a toddler with some kind of birth defect. I slammed my computer shut and locked the door. I knew this was what I'd wanted, but I felt the sinking feeling that I'd gone too far. I knew this kid was an asshole, but did he deserve to have his life ruined? I took the rest of the night to think about my decision. I had his adolescence in the palm of my hand, and I could easily crush it if I wanted to. I decided to just print out one picture and put it in my backpack. That way, if he said something mean to me, I could whip it out and show it to everyone and get my sweet, shriveled revenge. The next day, I walked into school with my head held high. I was ready for the group of kids to knock me down in the hallway because I had something they didn't, a picture of a penis in my backpack. I went into class and sat with my surfer group. So, what did you guys do last night? Got into a fight with my mom about whether or not Hamburger Helper is still Hamburger Helper if she doesn't put hamburger in it. Intriguing. I looked at my dad's porn. I found some really weird shit in his room. There was like a picture of a lady peeing into a crock pot. Nice. What about you, huh? What did you do last night? Oh, nothing. He looked like a train had hit him. His face was limp and pale. He looked like a guy who'd had his heart broken. Oh, shit. You okay, bro? Yeah, I'm fine. He wasn't fine. He was miserable, like a puppy that had gotten his balls cut off. I didn't want to feel bad for him, but unfortunately, underneath all my big fat layers was an even bigger fat heart. You fucked that chick from Polo yet? I heard she shaves now. Nah, I'm over chicks for a while. He put his head down on his backpack and sank deeper into his depression. I felt horrible. This guy was hurting, and it was my fault. I can't imagine how it must have felt to send a stranger a picture of you at your most vulnerable and have them not even respond to tell you how not disgusting it was. I told the teacher I had a bathroom emergency and poofed out my stomach to make it look extra urgent. I ran to the bathroom and locked myself in the stall. I pulled out the picture of his micro-penis out of my pocket and gave it one last look. It was really disgusting. I crumpled it up and threw it in the toilet. Before I flushed, I made a pact with myself that I would never stoop as low as anyone who was bullying me. The feeling I got from knowing I'd hurt this asshole's heart was even worse than the feeling I got when he and his friends had called me a fat robot animal. It wasn't worth it. I flushed the toilet and went back to class feeling a little better about myself. That night I opened up my sick Dell and deleted Carol from the internet. I didn't need her anymore. I also deleted AIM because, let's be honest, I didn't need that anymore either. I was the original catfish before catfishing was even a thing. I did it before it was a term on Urban Dictionary or a heavily scripted reality show on MTV. And from that day forward, I would never again pretend to be anybody who I'm not. Instead, I just photoshopped the absolute shit out of my own pictures to make me look like a completely different person. But hey, don't we all do that? And with that, we're gonna end it here. If you like what I do, then subscribe. It's free, and everything's better when it's free. And leave a like if you enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.